Hello, AGA family. I'd like to start off by thanking all the AGA members for the privilege of leading this amazing organization as national president over the past year. I want to also give special thanks to my wife, Jocelyn, who stood alongside me as First Lady, supporting AGA and me every step of the way. In addition, thank you to the AGA National Office and the National Governing Board and past national presidents and treasurers. Special thanks to each of the many chapters that invited me to speak at their local events. And of course, thanks to my NASA family who lifted me up each day. My journey as president was exhilarating. It was akin to a roller coaster ride like no other. We started off on a Rocky Mountain high with our Denver PDT. The PDT was an outstanding event with wide attendance both in person and virtually. We were on a roll and continued that momentum into the internal control and fraud prevention training in September. We were preparing for change in November and agreed to lean in and lead out whatever come what may. In January 2025, we faced a flurry of executive orders that placed new restrictions on federal training and travel. We held a strong NLT in February, even though there was a chill in the air. It was apparent that we would face significant challenges with the changes underway. We were sliding down the mountain, heading into the valley. Clearly, the federal training landscape had been altered, with the restrictions around training funds looming. We had a big decision to make with the upcoming Nashville PDT, and we shifted to this virtual-only PDT. We are leaning in on our recent experience and lessons learned from the COVID years to deliver excellence virtually. We will be stronger in the future as we meet the challenge of today. The slide down the mountain was exacerbated by the reshaping of the workforce. Significant impacts came about as the federal workforce was being reduced by administration priorities. These workforce reductions were a major challenge and were accentuated as the federal workforce faced critical commentary regarding its value to the American people. Our community was much maligned through no fault of its own. We needed a ledge to stand on to get our footing and stop the slide. Then in May came the SEER Awards dinner. We were able to tell our own story and honor so many of the professionals that led the way in federal financial management. The night was filled with energy and we could feel the glue that binds us together as a community. The very fiber of our existence was on display as we celebrated those among us who shore up the very foundation of government financial management. The principles, the standards of internal control, and the financial reporting that we deliver to inform the American public were on full display. That boldly demonstrated our worth and signaled that we are here to stay. But then we reached that point in the evening when USAID was on deck to receive their award. As most of you know, USAID has been obliterated by recent cuts, even more so than many of the other agencies under fire. Yet, when USAID was recognized for their award, the crowd broke out into a standing ovation. There was not a dry eye in the house. It was electrifying. Our community stood together as one, even amidst these most challenging times. That was a defining moment of my presidency, and I knew we were headed back up the mountain. I am honored to have led this organization as we celebrated 31 years of the CGFM program and to be at the helm leading up to our 75-year anniversary. Now is the time for a reset, a bold vision, and the next generation of leaders to aspire toward greatness. As I leave as president and become your most recent past national president, I am confident that we are on the right trajectory, having the right leaders at the right time. I would now like to turn the president's gavel over to our incoming president, Mark Mitchell. Mark is a friend, colleague, and trusted leader. He will have a sure hand and will be steady at the helm. Mark, I am proud to hand you this gavel for the national president of the AGA. You're going to set us in the direction of continued prosperity and growth as we climb new mountains with ever higher peaks.
Well, thank you, Frank. It's an honor to receive this gavel from you, and it's an honor to be the incoming national president of AGA. As I look forward to leading and building on the outstanding work that you've done, as I start this new chapter, I'd really like to hear more about your journey. So, what first inspired you to become AGA national president, and how did that motivation evolve during your term?
I've always aspired to reach new heights. My parents taught me from a very young age that I could achieve anything that I set my mind to. Those values propelled me throughout my career. I've always believed in inspirational leadership. Coming out of the COVID era, I saw a real opportunity to help bring people back together through AGA. Receiving the gavel at PDT in Denver after a powerful year in Orlando in 2023 was such a highlight. Visiting chapters across the U.S. and Guam created some of the most meaningful connections of my presidency, ones I'll cherish for years. I'm sure you'll have your own set of memorable experience, Mark. So tell me, what compelled you to step into this leadership role now?
Well, I would have to say the members. For me, what has always stood out about AGA is the members. From the very beginning, the members at both the chapter and national levels welcomed me with open arms. And that sense of community and encouragement has really made a lasting impact on me. Early in my career, when I was in the private sector, I attended a seminar by Jim Rohn. And in that seminar, he said, "Work harder on yourself than you do on your job." And I really took that to heart. And what I found was that thanks to AGA and the people who make it what it is, I've been able to do just that. Whether it was attending chapter trainings or PDTs, and sometimes using vacation time. I've had the opportunity to learn and grow, and AGA has always been there. And I've been able to develop the network as well. So now, with that knowledge and those experiences and the network of people, I feel like this is an opportunity for me to give back and help those who are newer in AGA and establish new friendships and reestablish old friendships. Frank, as you reflect on your presidency, what accomplishments are you most proud of?
That's a great question. I'm really proud that we reinforce what it truly means to be a part of the AGA community. We returned to in-person events with strong attendance and engagement. I was honored to receive the Top Recruiter Award, and it was a great start to the year. We built a lot of momentum and promised for robust years ahead. Then things changed dramatically and immediately.
So there were dramatic changes. Can you tell us more about that? What did occur? What were those changes?
The federal government's executive orders on training and travel hit us hard. We had to pivot quickly, shifting our Nashville PDT to an all-virtual event. I'm proud of how we adopted. I encouraged the team to lean in and lead out, and that's exactly what we did. We relied on lessons learned from the COVID era, and our experienced leadership team stepped up in a big way. Mark, as you take the reins, what are your top priorities for the upcoming year?
Well, in these turbulent times, my top priority is to lead with empathy, clarity, and purpose. We know many of our members are facing uncertainty and job loss. In response, we've added free webinars focused on navigating changes in the workplace, and we've greatly reduced our registration fees for PDT. We're here to encourage and inspire members and to remind them that resilience starts with reframing challenges as opportunities. Everything that our members have learned up to this point, it belongs to you forever. And it might require new boldness, but you can do it. And if you're having a tough time and you want to reach out for any reason, you have your AGA peers in the national office. And my takeaway would be that, we're here for you. AGA is here for you and each one of our members.
That's great to hear, Mark. Really, really proud to know that you have that kind of empathy for this organization and the members. I'm looking forward to your leadership and bringing us to the new heights. But, how do you plan to build on the foundation I've laid and the work that the presidents that came before me have achieved?
Well, first, you, Frank, and your leadership has been so positive and so motivating and so inspiring. You challenge us to think bigger and aim higher. I want to build on that momentum, sharing strategies that will help take those seemingly out of reach goals and make them achievable through a mindset shift. So Frank, where do you see AGA heading in the next 3 to 5 years?
AGA will continue to be the go-to organization for government financial management. We must seize the current moment. Change brings opportunity, and we're in a strong position to capitalize on that now for a better future.
I couldn't agree more. In fact, just as we have for the past 75 years, I know AGA will continue to advance government accountability through quality training, through a strong community. We have a solid certification program and meaningful partnerships. Thank you again, Frank, for your leadership and for paving the way. So my last 2 questions are, what do you hope will be the lasting impact of your presidency? And what advice would you give to me as I begin my journey?
I hope the lasting impact of my presidency is that we accepted the challenge and forward a new path forward, ensuring AGA remains the preeminent organization for government financial management. And my advice to you, develop a bold vision, keep an open mind, think beyond borders, focus on the big picture for long-term success, and above all, capitalize on the opportunity that this changing landscape has presented.
Well, thank you, Frank. What a privilege it is to be with all of you today. Although we are here today together virtually, we remain connected through our shared commitment to advance, grow, accelerate our careers in the field of government financial management. I am deeply honored to accept the role of AGA's national president as we are about to celebrate our 75th anniversary. On September 14, 1950, Robert W. King collaborated with a group of forward-thinking federal accountants who came together to form the Federal Government Accountants Association. They laid the foundation for what would become a meaningful and resilient organization, an AGA that today stands strong. With members from federal, state, and local governments, tribal entities, academia, and the private sector, we gather at a time of rapid change and undeniable uncertainty. Our world is more complex. Budgets at all levels of government are being tightened. Technology is evolving at a breakneck speed. The federal workforce is facing a type of change, and I might add, at a rate of change that even the most seasoned professionals did not anticipate. And yet, what remains is the call to remain steadfast to our guiding principles in the spirit of service to the principles of accountability. Government accountability is the reason we all do what we do, and it remains as vital and as important today as it ever has. My theme for this year is leaning into leadership. Leadership isn't about having all the answers. It's about stepping forward when it's easier to step back. It's about being present, listening, learning, and solving problems together in a calm and assured manner. And doing so when it's uncomfortable, when it's complicated, and when it's new. And AGA is uniquely positioned to inform and support that kind of leadership at every level. We do it through our thought leadership, bringing fresh ideas, tested practices, and innovative technologies to the forefront. We do it through our chapters, and our national leadership positions, when rising professionals find their voices and seasoned leaders find their renewed purpose. We do it through our CGFM certification, which continues to raise the bar for excellence and professionalism. And we do it through our community, not merely a community of practice, but an association that connects and empowers accountability professionals who support government. I like the way that Carla Flores, AGA's National Governing Board member, describes being a member of AGA when she said so back in 2020. She said, quote, "AGA is the extended family you didn't know you needed. You can build and maintain a professional network and, better yet, personal connections," end quote. Today, her words still ring true more than ever. Now, I'd like to acknowledge the leaders who have brought us here. Our outgoing president, Frank Petersen III, our National Governing Board, chapter leaders, and all you who have served in your chapters and at AGA National through the years. I am proud to be the first AGA National President that the Albany chapter produced. I credit people like former GASB Chair Bob Atmore, who was so supportive of the Albany chapter, and Ray Harris, who thoughtfully mentored me and so many other chapter leaders behind the scenes throughout the years. I also appreciate leaders like Bobby Derrick from Indianapolis, who currently serves on the National Governing Board and is a past national president, and Melinda McGill, past national president from the Tallahassee chapter, and the members of the Leadership Development Committee who selected me for this role. As we look ahead, we must continue to welcome new members, mentor them, and share with them the value of membership in AGA. We must invest in identifying and inviting people, especially emerging leaders, who will carry us forward for the decades ahead. And we must continue to champion the value of upholding government accountability, not just as a principle, but as a promise to improve trust in government and to achieve successful outcomes from government's efforts. What I want to say to every auditor, inspector general, analyst, accountant, OCFO member, IT leaders, HR representatives, and to every chapter volunteer, every member and student member is this: your work matters. Your leadership matters. And AGA is here to help you lean into it with knowledge and strength, with integrity and with purpose. Let's honor our past by shaping the future. Let us all meet the moment, not with hesitation, but with assuredness and inspiration. I look forward to working with all of you this year to advance AGA's goals and enjoy many successes together. I also look forward to visiting and engaging with chapter members and meeting and inspiring future members across the country. Let's have a great year together. Thank you.